And let's set our timer here. 15 minutes on the clock. And it looks like we're starting with a fresh composition here. Just because I've been playing around with some other compositions, and this is the first one that popped up, so we'll run with it here. Okay. So let's actually get rid of this lines here, and let's check out the line Scape. And just gonna check my stream here. And so Linescape, kind of a crazy one. The default is that it's just going pretty quick. You can make this line go super fast. You can slow it right down, so it's basically stationary. If I were to set this to 0, it'll stop. Let's keep this flowing a little bit here. We've got height, which kind of controls the waviness of the line, and then the jagginess here kind of makes it either makes it more jaggy or kind of rigid, or if you turn that all the way down, then it's a little more smooth. And then our wobble is kind of another crazy one. It's making those lines get really wavy. So this is kind of a cool one, because this almost gives you a like a bit of a sense of depth with these lines kind of coming in from the from the distance. So let's lower this a little bit, and let's see what we get here if we throw a mirror on it. Okay. See what triangulate does. It looks a little wild. So let's start actually with a mirror again here. And let's play with this, play with some of these settings and see what we can get. Gonna reset the direction. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. So something else I want to try here is let's try adding the low res effect to this here. This is one effect you kind of have to be pretty careful of. It's very doesn't take much to really mangle it. and make it hard to recognize. So let's actually turn that one off. Let's try the dot screen. Edge detection doesn't really do anything for me. All right, so I just threw on a pixel pixel high pass. And kind of giving us some cool, I just turned up the red and green values up, and now we've got this kind of combo of pinkish, or pink, blue, and red. And let's try the point grid here. So point grid, point grid's a really cool effect for giving you almost like pixelated or like almost like LED bulbs is the best way I can kind of describe it. And being able to rotate it is pretty cool too. Let's maybe turn these up a bit. That's a bit much though. Let's turn down the this is looking a little crazy, but yeah, let's animate this the X value on the rotation. Something that's important to watch out for. You can't see it because I've got my webcam in the way. But if you go to your output menu, just want to make sure you can see that. Yeah, if you go to your output menu at the top of your menu bar and click show frames per second, when you're working with these generative visuals, always make sure that you're kind of watching your frames per second, because if it's getting a little too crazy, then that's obviously gonna hurt the performance of Resolume, and it's not gonna result in smooth playback. Right now I'm getting about 22 frames per second, but that is kind of to be expected with running the streaming software and this at the same time. So just something to watch out for, because having slow or sloppy visuals would not be fun. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this. Of course, using Resolume 6, definitely play with the envelope feature for animating any of your parameters. Super fun way to get some interesting movement out of your visuals. So something else I've been playing with here lately are these are the different blend modes, and still getting a feel for kind of how it works. But this parts one is one that I've been really liking here. So anytime you add an effect, they all have their own blend modes. And to be honest, it's a little tricky to explain what exactly they're all doing. honestly, the best way to kind of figure it out is to experiment and play with, just select the different blend modes and play with the opacity setting. That's what kind of determines the behavior of these, of the blend modes. So I guess this is a bit more of an obvious one to explain here. So right now, in my point grid, I've got the blend mode set to push left, and I'm gonna set the opacity all the way to 100%, and then I'm gonna turn it down. And what you're seeing here is this effect is kind of appearing, or it's kind of pushing away that point grid to either side. And keep in mind too that the because of the placement of the point grid, it's below or on top of this mirror quad effect, that's going to impact the effect that this has, that the effect that this opacity slider has as well. So if I were to, I'm just going to drag this mirror above the point, or yeah, the mirror above the point grid, and I'm going to slide this opacity, and now you can see that it is getting pushed from the left. It's not pushing to the left. Whereas if I drag this back above here, now you can see that it's kind of mirrored that effect, and it's going to push it to either side. So I am actually going to animate. I do like this parts one, parts blend mode. So I'm going to play with that and animating using just the timeline right now. Maybe we'll do ping pong so that it doesn't just magically make that other this line here doesn't just magically appear. Yeah. This could be a little busy too, so maybe it could even be worth just playing with a different blend mode to make something that doesn't maybe look as kind of crazy. Let's try displace, see what happens. And even that one is again, a lot of this is really just, again, trial and error. I'm still very much a beginner, and this is really the best way to learn. You just got to go, kind of play with this stuff, and yeah, just kind of experiment and make note of any kind of interesting things that you come across. So yeah, let's play with let's go back to that parts one. Definitely liking that one. And still got a couple minutes here. Let's see what else we can maybe do. I want to see maybe if I make these, you space them out even a little bit more, what we kind of get. Does get a little bit busy if the space is too close. We can also try playing with the anchor to kind of limit how much we're seeing here. And yeah, I definitely like that. So yeah, that's about 15 minutes here, so gonna wrap it up. Again, always remember to save. Don't want to lose your hard-earned work. And yeah, thanks again for tuning in. This has been day 25 of making visuals with Resolume 6. As I was saying, it's been a minute since I've done one of these. Been sick for the last couple weeks, but looking forward to doing this more regularly. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave a comment on any of these live streams. They're usually do these around 9 p.m. CST, Central Standard Time. And yeah, tune in, ask any questions. I'm definitely open to help or answer any questions that you have about Resolume. You can also reach me at the Zero to VJ Facebook page or at zerotovj.com. So thanks again for tuning in, and yeah, make some awesome stuff with Resolume. Have a good night.